Okay, so here we've got a gunsmith vise from Woodcraft. And you can see I use this thing for, kind of just woodworking stuff. Is mainly for carving and that kind of thing. I really like it because it kind of brings the working surface right up here to like chest level almost. But the main idea here is that you can loosen these two bolts, and the jaw pads here can swivel independently of each other, so you could have it be, like at an angle like this, if you wanted to hold a glue bottle, or obviously not that, but if you wanted to hold something it's irregular shaped, instead of it being parallel with each other, you could grasp something on this side of the jaw and have this side of the jaw here touching. So think gun stock or something like that that's totally irregular shaped, but this thing will be able to grasp it or whatever. It comes from the factory with these, I think, maple jaws with some sort of a plastic or resin here that's fairly hard, but it's malleable, so it'll kind of grip things under pressure, which is fine. The main improvement that I would want to see on this is just ridiculous. It's almost 1/8 of an inch shift. If I go in here with this, like, you can see it just wobbling as I go in, which I'm sure can't be good for it. But like, if you watch the jaws here, like, that's just, I mean, you're trying to clamp something, you don't want it to be wiggling like that. I mean, it's not a deal breaker, it still clamps stuff, but it's just kind of speaks to the not so wonderful quality. The other thing is here already. I mean, I've had this for a year, and I haven't beat on it or anything. It's not like I'm hammering on this thing to torque it down or anything, and the paint's chipping on the handle here, and I don't know why that would be happening, other than the fact that it kind of feels like latex paint a little bit. So, I mean, it's probably got something to do with that. But anyway, the other thing, this is really not meant for super high torque or anything, but the other thing about this is that pin goes through the screw, and that weakens it. So that would be an improvement that could happen for sure, that you could, I don't know, put a set screw there or something instead, so that if you do end up torquing this on or something, or if you just want to replace this with a handle that has a little bit more length to it, so you can get a good grip on it and torque it down, you could do it easily instead of having a roll pin type fastening there. The biggest thing about this that I would like to see is, other than this wobbling thing, would be this attachment point down here. It's got a washer and then this screw or nut, I guess, kind of wing nut down here. That's fine if you're not putting too much lateral force, like trying to twist the vise like this. If I had a board, like this in here, and I'm trying to plane it or something, which I don't do all that often, but you know, that kind of force, you know, where you're trying to move, you know, basically it's wanting to pivot the vise. I have to do it from this side going to that side because it will tend to tighten that screw down there. If I do it this direction, it will tend to do this and loosen that, and then it's totally loose and flopping around, as opposed to, you know, somewhat tight. That would be something that I would really love to see. So I don't know. That's part of the feature, is that swivel action there, but not being able to unscrew it from the attachment point there would be really good. But I mean, it works for what it does, but it's just a few little things like the paint and the wobble, rather this wobble, and then unscrewing from the tabletop like it just did, like that. Those are the three things that are really the downfall of this thing, and it's like $150 vise, which I get isn't super expensive when you get into machining vices and things, but you know, woodworking stuff, I mean, that's kind of par for the course for like an end vise or, you know, face vise kind of thing. So I guess, you know, there's definitely room for improvement if you raised the cost of this. But I mean, honestly, that isn't a difficult thing. Like, just, you know, measure this distance on this cast iron thing between these two pieces, you know, plates, I guess. You know, that's really not a difficult measurement to make, or a difficult improvement. I mean, obviously, I'm a woodworker. I can't, you know, just shave this side down and, you know, this green part. I can't just come in here and, you know, take this plate off and shave that down and fix it. And there needs to be a little bit of play in there so that it moves. But, you know, 1/8 of an inch, probably not. So anyway.